Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of the Golden Romance 6x6 album tutorial. Yay! Alright, so this third part is going to be really easy peasy. We are at the point where we've already got our pages done, so now we are going to add all of our patterned paper and decorate it and then put it into the actual album, so completion of the album. I have already cut out all of my pattern paper just to save time, so you didn't have to watch me make all my decisions, which usually take a while. I decided to use the Graphic 45 Artisan Style collection. So I've got the 12 by 12, the 8 by 8, and the journaling and ephemera cards. You can use whatever paper collection your little heart desires. You don't have to do exactly as I do. You can make it your own and you know, put whatever paper it is you like, put whatever embellishments you like. I'm just going to take you through what I'm doing, and you can follow along exactly if you like, or you can totally make up different parts. It's a total creative process. So let's get going. We'll start with page 1. Get this out of the way. So I've cut them out, but I haven't adhered anything down. I have already inked all of my edges with I don't know if you can see that, the Vintage Photo Distress Ink by Ranger. You don't have to do that. Again, that's optional, or you could use a different color. You don't have to use Vintage Photo, but you're basically just putting a little ink on your sponge thingy and just going like this around the edges. So just for the sake of time on the video, I'm not going to make you watch me do that, so I've already done that to each piece of paper. So again, your choice if you would like to do it or not. So all you need to do is measure whatever measurement it is. It would be 4 1/4 by 3 and 3, I believe. 4 1/4 by 4 is this particular one. This is the beginning. And I just measure it and then leave about 1/8 of an inch on all sides, so you have a bit of a border of the black showing through. And for every single step of the process, that's all you have to do, is just measure what you've got there and do it just 1/8 of an inch smaller on all sides. So I'm going to start, I'm going to use my ATG gun. You can use score tape as well if you prefer, and just apply your adhesive. You could use wet glue if that's what you have. And we're just going to start adhering everything down. And yeah, this is the easy peasy part. Is it nerdy to say easy peasy? I don't know, but I'm saying it anyway. So I've just like temporarily adhered these. Just when I'm making an album, one of the things that takes the longest for me is like the decision processes of what paper to use, and then that got a little crazy there. What paper to use and in what order and how to. So I mean, I didn't want to make you watch all that, because that is what takes me the longest amount of time, because I'm incredibly indecisive and I'll switch it up 10 million times. So I've got all of my, just make sure you don't have any glue sticking out. If you've gone a little over the edge, just kind of push it back with your finger, just so you don't have any adhesive sticking out of the edges. And I mean, you could make things a little bit smaller if you want more of a black border. Completely up to you. And once we get to places that have swing tabs, etc., then I'll slow it down and kind of show you a little bit more what I'm doing. My ATG gun is acting a little funny this morning. Alright. And then up. So for the sake of I don't want this video to be an hour long, So you don't, sorry, I'm out of frame anyway, so you don't really need to watch me putting on all the pattern paper. So I am going to pause this video, and you can just start getting your pattern paper cut and ready, and then as soon as we get to this part is where we're going to have a swing tab. So we'll have a swing tab down here, which is going to close over top of these. So as soon as we get to that, I will come back and show you how I do that. Okay folks, so we are back. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for this part here. Okay, so we've got the paper on this part glued down on the inside. That part's glued down, this is glued down, this is glued down, and this part here. So now we're at the point where you've got your pocket. We still have the score tape here, and then you've got these two little pieces here. So first we are going to, first we'll adhere these two little spots. So this one piece here, it only needs to be, I mean, you could have it a little longer if you like. You only really need around an inch because you just need that one little spot to be covered in pattern paper, and you want to put that on before you adhere your pocket down. Okay, so we've already inked the edges, so I'll just quickly add some adhesive. And we'll put that down. Alright, and now this part here, I've cut mine just enough so that you can kind of slide it in. So what have I got? So it's, what is it, 5 and just over 5 3/4. So what would that be? I'm really bad with measuring. I'm like a smidge and a little teensy bit and a pinch, and I'm not very precise. So it would be, my measurement would be 5 and 13/16, if that makes sense. So basically you're just going one tick past the 5 3/4 mark. I don't know if you can see that very well. And just a hair under 3. So what would that be? 2 and 15/16. I mean, just you don't have to have it exactly. Like, just make sure that it's going to go past, you know, like it's going to sit inside your pocket a little ways, and it's going to be able to fit well. I mean, I'm never that precise with my measurements. I kind of just eyeball everything and see what fits. If it doesn't fit, I cut a smidge off. And okay, make sure you don't have any adhesive sticking up, and then just kind of stick it in there. There we go. All right, fabulous. So that is down. So now on this portion is where we're going to add our swing tab. So when this is closed, the swing tab is going to be here, and it's going to go over top of these two pieces. So you can use anything you want as a swing tab. You can cut it out of the patterned paper and just put it on a few layers of cardstock or a piece of chipboard, and or you can use, I'm using just a little metal, it's kind of like a clock hand, I guess. I got a whole package of them. There's a whole bunch of them. I got them from Michael's. So I mean, you can use anything. The only thing that you need to make sure is that it is going to be long enough that it will go over both of these pieces. So it has to swing down, and it has to be able to cover both these pieces. So for instance, if I was using a little metal charm, it wouldn't have enough room to like you'd have to have the swing tab down here, and if you swung it up it wouldn't go over this. So just make sure it's long enough that it's going to cover all the pieces that you want to have closed. So put your swing tab where you would like it to be. Make sure there's enough room that it's going to swing down all the way, and then take a pen or marker or something and just make a little mark where you want that hole to be, and then take your crocodile or any kind of piercing tool. For instance, in this one the crocodile is too it won't get in there. It's too far in to like make a hole. So in this instance I will just be using the end of a pair of sharp scissors. Just make a little hole right where you've marked it. Alright, and then I'm going to be using a fancy little brad here. You can use just a normal brad. Oh no, actually I won't be, because it won't fit through that hole. So change of plans. I'm going to be using a non-fancy brad. Okay, so just be using a regular brad and put it through the hole, and then open the tines, and there you go. So now you are able to take the score tape off of these two bits. These two bits here, the score tape's gone now. And you can fold up your pocket. So now you've created your pocket, and when this closes, there's your swing tab. Alright, so that first part is done. So flip her over, and I tend to, so this is the first page, and when you put it into your book, this is going to be the front cover of your book over here. So I will match these paper choices with the front cover of the book. So think of this as page 2. So you're going to want, well, you don't have to, again it's completely your choice, but I like to do the kind of same pattern paper on both sides so it's cohesive. So again, your choice. So page 2, I've cut all of my pieces. You've got this part that flaps open. This part flaps up and down. So there isn't anything really too funky on this one. All you have to do is, you know, again, measure each piece and cut it a little bit smaller so you've got a border. And you could, in my Golden Romance album, a lot of these flaps, just so you know which way they pull, I've got a little pull tab or something on the end just so you know which way it goes. So that again is a personal choice if you would like to do that or not. It's not completely necessary. So I'm going to adhere all of these down, and I'll let you do the same, and then we will come back. Okay, so we've got some pattern paper on the front already glued down. Now I decided to put a tiny little metal flower here. So there's a tiny little, oh my lighting's horrible, a little flower here, just so you know which way it's supposed to pull. And then I've got some pattern paper here, here, and here. Now I just wanted to mention, I'm not giving specific measurements of each of the pieces of pattern paper because I want you to spread your creative wings and fly, baby. There's no right way to do it. On this particular part up here, I used a journaling card, but the journaling card wasn't quite tall enough, so there's a larger border on the top and the bottom than there is on the sides. What I might do, I might put some like little bling across there, or maybe some ribbon, or I might just leave it as is. I haven't decided yet. And then down here I've got the pattern paper pretty much right to the edge. So there's no right or wrong. This is completely up to you. And I encourage you to use your scraps as well. A lot of times I will, if a piece of pattern paper isn't quite large enough for the space that I want it to be, like the space I want it to go, I will use little bits around the edge, or I'll do a fancy border. You can use your die cuts and make it really fancy and just do die cut borders around it. There's just so many options that I don't want you to feel that what I'm doing is the only way to do it, because it's certainly not. So we've done the first page, and now we move on to the next one. So this would be page 3. Now I will probably put say a journaling card or something matted on the front of this one, just because it is they're just temporarily adhered right now, but I'll probably fancy that up just a little bit with some embellishments. And I mean, yeah, like I said, please just feel free to do whatever you want, whatever embellishing you feel. So I'm going to adhere each of these pieces down, and there's not really anything too crazy that you need to know on this one. You can, if you like, you can put a swing tab here and have it swing over these 2 pieces, or you could add a little flap, attach it to the bottom part here and have it flap over all of these and magnetize. So many options. I just want you to use your imagination and kind of make it your own. So I'm just going to adhere all of these down. So again, just measure your portion of black cardstock wherever it is. You're gonna, you know that it's 5 3/4 high. Well, it's 6 inches high, right? So your whole album, every one of your pages is going to be 6 inches in height, which means you should cut all of your pieces going this direction. They're all going to be 5 3. So you know one of the patterned paper measurements already. So you basically just have to measure your widths, because this is going to be 5 3 if it's going vertically. Alright, so I'm going to adhere all of these down, and we'll come back for the next page. Alright, so I have taken one of the ephemera cards and backed it on black cardstock, and then I just kind of popped it up on some foam tape just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then when you open it up, as I was opening it up, I decided that I did have this here. That's what I was going to use, and I changed my mind. So just wanted to let you know that it's okay to change your mind partway through the process. I decided that I wanted to stick with a little bit more of the black. Yeah, you don't have to. That's why it's probably not a good idea to follow me when it comes to the patterned paper part of this, because I do tend to change my mind. So it's all right to do so. You can follow exactly what I'm doing, or you can do your own thing. Totally up to you. So just adhering these down. Oh, off camera here. There we go. Feel like I should be singing or something, or telling jokes to entertain you while this part is going on. That's why I'm not doing it all on camera, because it's really not that riveting. Glad you're still with me. Okay, and the last two pieces here, and then we'll move on to the next page. Okay. And the last piece. All right, fabulous. So there you have it. Oh, I just want to put this like this. There we go. Awesome. So that is page 3, I guess. And so now we're on to page 4. So again, we're going to do, well, you can do a swing tab. It's not a necessary thing, but you can do a swing tab on this part here. All right, and this one is one of our pages that just flips down. Oh, and apparently I don't have any paper cut out yet for this, so I'm going to figure out what paper I'm going to use for that part, and we shall return. So this is all just basic measuring and gluing down, so I'm going to let you do that, and we will be back. Okay, so I'll show you what I did on mine. So I decided instead of a swing tab, I was going to bling this one up a little bit. So this is just a piece that I got in the jewelry section at Michael's, and I just popped it up on some foam dots, whatever you call them, just little pieces of the foam tape, and popped it up on there, and then added some more just little bling bits. So you know that that's an open, and then on the inside, just so you know that this was also somewhere that pulled down, I added another one of those little rhinestoney kind of things. And then I added one of the little journaling cards and left it open. I just adhered it on these two sides so you could stick a photo down underneath. And then I forgot to mention on the first page there, to make sure to make some inserts for your pockets. These are two of the ephemera cards, and unfortunately the ephemera cards are, well, when they're whole they are 4 by 6, I believe. Yeah, 4 by 6, and our pocket is not deep enough for a 4 by 6, so I've had to trim down a little bit of the borders on either side of the ephemera cards. So it did have a border. I kept the borders on the top and bottom, and I trimmed off the ones on the side and then inked them with the vintage photo. So I like it better with the borders, but it wasn't quite enough room to get them in there. It might have been just enough, but you want this to be able to close really well, so you don't want anything right up against the score line. So that was what I decided. If you don't have ephemera cards for whatever collection it is that you're using, you can just take a piece of the pattern paper and back it on cardstock, and that's it. And I think I might have this piece upside down. Is it upside down? I can't tell. I'm not sure which way the peacock should be. I think I might have put it upside down. Do peacocks bend their necks that way? Oh, yeah, I think I might have messed that up. I think it might be upside down. Oh well, it's down and happening now. Anyway, So now we are on to page 4. I hope I haven't offended any peacocks anywhere. So again, we are... Oh, I've got 2... So this is something... Oh, what am I doing here? Oh no, we're right. We're good. Okay, so this one's going this way. Yes. Okay, so these will be beside each other. So I'll probably do something fancy with this side. Maybe I'll bling it up a little bit and add a card, and so you've just got your basic pieces. This is the one that folds out and out again like that. So measure all your pattern pieces and cut them and ink them, and I hope you're okay with me kind of letting you have a little bit more of the creative process for yourself. If you prefer for me to literally measure out every piece of paper and tell you the measurements for it, let me know in the description box below, and I will make sure for every other tutorial after this I will do that. But I really feel like this is a good thing for you to be able to just kind of have some creative mastery over your masterpiece. Alright, so I'm going to adhere all these down and maybe do a little fanciness on the front, and we'll come back for the next page. So far, got the pattern paper on most of it. Okay, and now I'm just going to embellish the front a little bit. So I've taken one of the journaling cards and I've just backed it on black cardstock. And now I'm going to pop it up on some foam tape. And you can just stick it right down if you want. You don't have to put it on foam tape. If you prefer to just have a flat down, you could put it just in the bottom corner here and have part of it open so you can stick a photo behind it. Or you could create, before you put this piece of pattern paper on, if you wanted, you could have a 1/2 inch hinge and have this whole, the journaling card kind of flip open if you like. There's just, the possibilities are really quite endless. That's why I love like mini albums and this whole genre of crafting. There's just endless things that you can do with some patterned paper and adhesive. It's pretty mind-blowing, really. I'm so stoked to have discovered it because I am in love. Who knew that patterned paper could make me as happy as it does? My husband makes fun of me all the time. I'll get an order of patterned paper and I will just be ecstatic when I'm opening it up, and he laughs at me. He was like, you do understand it's just paper. I'm like, it's not just paper. Alright, I think I'm going to put some bling just to match the other bling that we have going on. Now this is a Forever in Time little collection of blingy blings. I just got it from a local craft store. So I think I'm going to put one up here and one at the base just to give it some blingy. I don't think that's quite centered, but it's pretty good. Alright, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do with that. So now these two look quite nice together. And so now we are ready to do the back side of this one. Alright, so I'm actually not quite sure what piece of pattern paper I had. Okay, so some kind of orange action. Alright, I'm going to get my pattern paper all ready, and I think we'll do a swing tab on this one like we did on the first one. So before you adhere this part, this piece of paper, before you adhere this paper on the inside, make sure that you cut your hole where your swing tab should be. Okay, So I will get these inked and on, and we will be back. So now the way the pages will go in, so you've got your opening right here, okay? So all you need to do is add a little either score tape again or a little bit of wet glue, like wet adhesive, to either side of your hinge, and then you just slip the page onto the hinge. Okay, so it would just sit right in the hinge there. Okay, so once you've removed your score tape, just adhere that flap down, and then we will put a magnet there. Okay. So just like we did with all the rest of the magnets, have two magnets together, apply a little bit of score tape. And again, this is optional. You don't have to do this. You can just put a piece of the pattern paper down here and call it a day. I just thought I'd add a little something to the front. So on the actual Golden Romance album, I had all those words that I cut out, but I didn't have anything like that for this collection per se, so I decided to add something. Okay, so that's going to, oh, didn't adhere. This magnet is being stubborn. Okay. Fabulous. So we've got our magnets down. Now I've cut a piece of 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 paper that I'm going to, I've inked around the edges. I'm going to adhere that down. Okay, and then I'm going to use some of this pattern paper on this side. On the front, I'm going to use a journaling card, so just like that. So the journaling cards are 4 by 6, so you can just use a piece of pattern paper if you like, if you're not using the same collection that I'm using. Okay, so that's that. And I think when you open it up, I want to incorporate, like kind of tie in that blue somehow. So I decided I'm going to make just a little pocket down here. So I've just cut a little piece of paper. What is it? It is almost 4 1/4 because this itself is 4 1/4, so just shy of 4 1/4 by 1 1/2. And I'm just going to adhere it on 3 sides, so on either end and along the bottom. Okay, and then I'll put that down. Oops, sorry. Make sure I'm in frame here. Okay, so adhere that directly to the page, and you want to make sure, the reason I've gone just slightly smaller than 4 1/4 is because you don't want it to interfere with it folding, so you want it to be on this side of your fold line, of your score line. Okay, and then to tie the blue in, I'm just going to line the pocket with just a little bit of that blue paper, or maybe I should use that. No, I like the blue. I'll go with the blue. Okay. So again, the blue paper is just slightly smaller than you've cut your pocket. So you've got a pocket there. So I've just got a couple of the journaling cards that I'm just going to stick in there. Alright, so there we go. So that's the front. And then we will do something to the back. What should we do to the back? Okay, so for the back cover, we're going to cut 2 pieces at 3 1/4 by 4 3, and then along the 4 3 inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And as always, miter the corners. Seven 1/4 by 5 3. Okay, and you need to do on the 5 3 inch side, do your 1/2 inch. But then you also need a 1/2 inch on either end. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now put your score tape on. And again, miter the corners. Alright, now we got it going on. Okay, so now fold on your score lines. And you really should use your bone folder to really burnish these edges. I'm just going to use my fingers on this one. Okay, and so this is going to be your pocket. So take off your score tape, do the 2 sides first. And fold the bottom. And take off that score tape. Alright, and let's adhere it. Making sure you're on the right side of your fold there. So your album will fold nicely. Okay, so that is your pocket. And now these two parts, so fold on your score line, and we will put those right in the center. Or I mean, you could put them here, you could put them here if you prefer. You could, if you like, put them going this way, totally up to you. I'm going to put mine in the center. These are the perfect size for the little journaling cards that come with a lot of the collections. Alright, there we go. And then cut patterned paper to fit each of those. And let's see, we could put a magnet here, and I think I'm going to do a swing tab as well. So let's put a magnet here. Take your score tape off. Okay, oops, there we go. All right, fabulous. So now we're just going to put on the pattern paper. Okay, so I've got my pieces of pattern paper cut and I've inked around all the edges of them. So now we're going to adhere them down. Okay, and now I was going to add a swing tab. So I think I'm going to use this little guy here. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but I did add this little knob just as a pull thing. So if you've already adhered paper to the back and you can't get a brad in, there is always the option of cutting the tines off the brad and just gluing it down. So just keep that in mind if you've ever made a mistake and you're like, oh no, I meant to put that brad there or something, and then you can still do it. There's always, crafting's amazing that way. You can always find a solution because there's always going to be mistakes that get made, and so solutions can always be found. All right. And there we go. You can MacGyver it, as they say. There's always, I don't know if they say that, but I say that. If you don't know how to do something, you just MacGyver it. Find a way. All right. And let's continue adding pattern paper. Okay, get some of that blue in here. Sorry if you hear some meowing. One of my cats is completely distraught that he is not the focus of my attention right now. And you can hear him. He's... Tundra, I'm almost done, buddy. I know, life is just so rough for a kitten. I know. Oh, and I'm gonna have to my tape just broke here, so I'm gonna have to redo this. We're getting close, folks. Okay, 2 more pieces for this. Okay, and lastly, okay, and slide that in here. Make a few tags to go in the pocket there, and then we will do the cover. So you want to put for a ribbon closure, you want to put your ribbon on first. So I've just added some 1/2 inch score tape to just under the width of the album. Okay, so peel off your score tape and kind of get it in the center there. Okay, and do it on both sides. And I kind of hold this piece up so that I can hopefully line them up here. It's not quite center, but close enough. Alright, so you've got your ribbon. And now for the cover, I've taken the signature piece of this collection, and I've adhered a couple brads as little doorknobs and some decorative corners, and then this piece, a door pull, and I've just adhered them right to the paper. Okay, and now you want to, I'm going to trim just a little bit of this ribbon. Don't want it that close to the edge. And you're just going to adhere that down really, really well, because you want the front cover to be really, really in place. So I'm going to put score tape all over this part. Okay, so once you've got all your score tape on, remove the backing. Oh, I'm actually taking the backing off the back of my album, but that's alright. So, make sure, so this is the back of the album here. Okay. And adhere your paper down. And the front. Now, in a perfect world, I probably would have put the this front piece, I probably would have used longer brads and put it right through the cover. However, I've already decorated the inside front cover, so it's just going to be attached this way. So in retrospect, you might want to do your outside cover first and then do the inside cover, but this works. Alright, adhere that down really well. And the spine piece. And I've inked the edges of each of these pieces as well with the Vintage Photo Distress ink. Again, that's a personal choice. You don't have to do that. Line that up. All right, and now on my on the Golden Romance album, I did these ends So you can do that. You can get these crimp over ends at any jewelry supply store. But if you don't have those crimp ends, you can also do this. Take a little piece of score tape, put it at the end of your ribbon, and then kind of fold the edges in to make a bit of a point. And this is going to stop it from fraying. And then take a couple little blingy dots or, you know, something of that nature and put that on the end, and then take another one and sandwich them together. So that makes it so that your ribbon ends won't fray and they look pretty as well. Alright, so folks, we have completed the album. I'm going to do a full walkthrough of the album, and I'll put it up, post it as a separate video, but I will link it in the description box below, so we can walk through the whole thing together. Yay, we did it! Alright folks, I hope that everyone's been inspired by this, and look for more to come, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, and I might do something here. I think I might put a plaque there just so something, you can write a little something there. We'll see how we go. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye!